Hello, hello, all my beautiful people. We are live, so we're just gonna let the live build up a little bit while I just finish up preparing to start the concert. Remember this? It's our wedding present. There's a pulsar. But it came with a pot guard, they call it. So the bottom of this wouldn't scratch your pot. And it came with this little measuring cup, so definitely some of these. Y'all let us know if the fan is too loud. Yeah? Or if y'all hear me clearly with the fan. Alright, so I need to. Sorry?
Yeah, they're doing
Good? Sorry for the parrot, that's our parrot.
Somebody wants to know how they could purchase Foodie merchandise.
Purchase Foodie Nation.
Merch.
Alright, so all merch is available in what do you call it? The link tree, Chris? Yeah, it's
Link in bio.
link in our bio. It takes you straight to our website where you could get all our merch for the teas, towels, a few other things. Alright, so you ready? The first thing we're gonna do is boil our pigtail. So with this corn soup, we put in pigtail now. I mean, it really depends on your preference. You can put salted ham, smoked bones. We're gonna be putting smoked bones in it too. If you wanna put another type of meat, beef, it's really up to you. But today we're doing salted pigtails and smoked pigtails. So for that, we just need to pre-boil them just to make sure we take out some of the salt, and then we're gonna add it to the pot and cook it with our split peas that I have washed. That's why it's kind of sticking up here together. Yeah, like, I don't know how much you can see over there, but I just have to wash the pigtail, add it to the pot, take it to the stove. Y'all let us know what type of meat do you all put in your soup. I love pigtail.
You want to answer some questions?
Yeah.
So the most asked question is if your mom and your aunt are twins.
Yes, they are twins. They are identical twins.
And how you tell them apart?
So when we were younger, that was very difficult to do. Very difficult. They used to play tricks. They used to play tricks on us. But the easiest way to tell them apart, I'm not sure if you all catch this on camera, is the mole that Auntie Giselle has on her face.
Claudia, say hi.
Claudie, hi Claudie.
Jamil asks if the process is the same for all meats.
So the reason we have to pre-boil this is to take out some of the salt. If we didn't do that, corn soup will be a little too salty. And also, you want to pre-cook the pigtail a little bit because it is on the tougher side. So you want to help break down those protein strands, make it a little more edible.
Do you love roti or pilau?
Both.
If you have to pick one.
Roti? For sure. For sure.
Okay. Did you
Just come
learn?
and show them. We talking about this. Yeah, so the pigtail and the spook bones are in here. We're gonna just let this cook for about 25 minutes. While that's cooking, we're gonna need our dumpling.
How much time do you boil the pigtail?
For this, I'll just boil it once. Yeah, for this, I'll just boil it once because when it goes into the pot, it's also cooking. So, yeah. We're making corn soup.
Only one now.
water. Ready? Yeah? Alright, so we're gonna do, now we're doing dumpling. No, let me say it's actually for me, so let me make sure. Alright, so we're doing dumpling. So originally, I was going to do cornmeal dumpling because I just personally love cornmeal dumpling. But then I remembered I have cassava flour. So I was like, well, why not? I mean, I know you're all probably gonna ask what type of cassava flour we use. So here it is. Yeah? Our good friends at Lotus. They are not sponsoring this video, but we have a very good relationship with them, so I have no issue showing the brand. Yeah? So to the cassava flour, we have brown sugar, salt, black pepper. The black pepper is optional. I just like black pepper. It does add flavor, but you don't have to add the black pepper. I like to add the sugar just to help balance out the dumpling. There's a little hint of sweetness. So what we're gonna do now, before we add our water, we're just gonna incorporate the sugar, salt and black pepper, just for even mixing. Now, I like to make my dumpling very small, and since I'm making it that size, I need it a little stiffer. What that basically means is I don't put as much water as you would, let's say if you're making dumpling for crab and dumpling, or you're making a bigger size dumpling where the dumpling may need to be softer so that it could cook quicker. Yeah, because I'm cutting it very small, I'm probably doing like ½ inch, if so thick pieces, ½ inch by ½ inch pieces. You'll see a little later, because the other thing with protein is, and remember gluten is protein, is you want to let your protein rest. So that's why while the pigtail is boiling behind me, I'll use the opportunity to knead my flour so that I can let it rest for at least a ½ an hour. Ideally, if you could even knead this like the day before, or as much rest as you could give it, do that. Just making a hole in the middle again, just for even cooking, even cooking, even mixing. I think he went down. He right there by the step. I'm just adding a little water and incorporating it. Again, you never want to add too much. You could always add, right? But it's a lot difficult to take out because then you have to alter the recipe, increase more flour, etc. So just add in just enough. We're making cassava dumpling, mommy. You want to come and say hi quick? No. They ask, you know, if you all have twins. This is the biggest question again. And how I can tell all they are apart. So I tell them, is he mole? This is my little niece Isabella. Come on. Okay, Isabella. Get some more water.
Hello? Mommy, say hello. Mommy, say hello, please. Take a peek, take a peek, take a peek, take a peek. Alright, bye.
Now, of course, did we share the recipe already?
Yeah, I was on the
Okay, great. So,
well, on Facebook.
it's a link or what is it?
There's a pinned comment on your live.
Okay, so the corn soup's full recipe is a pinned comment in the live on Facebook, and how would they get it if they watch it on YouTube? Okay, so as soon as the live is finished, we'll comment the full recipe on YouTube for you. And this is a brand new recipe. This recipe is not on Foodie Nation as yet. We have a few on there already, but this one is a brand new one. Alright, Isabella, come. Isabella, like the camera. So again,
because lukewarm water or room temperature.
room temperature. Yeah, you don't really have to use the lukewarm because it's gonna rest for so long, and this doesn't have yeast in it, so the lukewarm water really isn't gonna do anything. You know, when you're mixing those with yeast, they'll use lukewarm water to help activate it a little quicker. But in this instance, I don't have to do that, so I'm just using room temperature water. Isabella, remember live, right? So you can't talk too loud. Okay?
Somebody said it's a long recipe.
It's a long recipe. Well, I mean, it's very detailed. I'm not sure what you mean by long as in is not too much ingredients, but you know, people, remember we catering for persons here who may have never cooked before. So in the written recipes, we tend to be as detailed as possible, and persons love to watch our tutorials while they're making it. So in the tutorial, it's how to say, the method may be abbreviated, but in the writing, at least, we try to be as detailed as possible.
What can we expect from Foodie Nation different things?
A lot more recipes, a lot more Caribbean content, a lot more me and Brett. And also we want to try and be a lot more interactive with you all. So continue to send us in your suggestions of the recipes you all want to see and things like that.
Where you want to cook?
Home in my house. Huh? I'm gonna answer it, so it's fine. But I mean, the reality is most of the learning was done home in my house with my mother and father. At the end of the day, you know, both parents love to cook, and I was fortunate enough to go to school and study culinary management.
No baking powder?
No baking powder for this one. So again, because I am making my dumpling very small, it will probably be this big if any. Yes, good guess, you know? Yeah, it'll probably be this big if any. I don't need to add anything. I mean, if you want to add baking powder, that's fine. I'm not knocking it, but just personally, I don't do it.
Somebody said, or Shannon said, I like hard dumplings. What's the trick to make dumplings as hard as possible? Is it just adding extra flour?
Less water, less liquid. Yeah, so if you want your dumpling as stiff as possible, take your time and knead it with as little liquid as you can. Yeah.
Daniel asks, can you prepare okra the night before to fry tomorrow?
No, because okra has, or at least most okra recipes have yeast in it. So because of that, it will by the time you wake up in the morning, it'll be outside the bowl, because the yeast will just continue to feed on the sugars in the dough and continue to just proof until it has overproofed, and you'll wake up smelling a alcohol scent. Sambo, hush. That's my dogs barking.
Somebody on Instagram had asked, what is Foodie Nation's average monthly bill, because them groceries look expensive?
That's a good question, boy. It's not that much, eh? It looks like a lot, but it's not that much, because a lot of the content y'all see is actually our family cooking food for ourselves. So it's not like if Foodie Nation is the one buying all of the ingredients for all of the cooking that you see. So it's not that much, but I mean, maybe a grocery should sponsor us.
Why do you need it so much?
So I just wanna eat, just to make sure it's evenly mixed, because like, so what I'll do, just now I turned it over, and I saw some dry specks of flour. I'm not sure how well you could see it here, but you could still see 1 or 2 dry specks of flour, so that's why I'm continuing to knead it.
Cassava flour must be delicious rather than normal flour.
Oh yeah, well it adds a whole other level of flavor when you think about it. You know, it's different because, I mean, we're so accustomed eating all-purpose flour in almost everything. Right, so this is done. How do I know it's done? Smooth to the touch, looks evenly mixed. What I'm gonna do now is just put it back in the bowl, and I'll cover it with a damp cloth. Yeah, that's gonna cover it with a damp cloth and just let it rest until it's time to shape and cut into bite-sized pieces. Let's show them the pigtail. Yeah, so you can see the pigtail now starting to froth up, now starting to boil. It's been on for about 15 minutes, so we're gonna let it go for another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll check it. And based on the texture and the amount of salt that I taste, then I'll decide, just to be safe. Normally I only boil it once, just to be super safe. I'll taste it and tell you all how it tastes, texture. Then we'll decide if we want to boil a second time or go straight to the pot.
On the phone?
I can't remember that music. Alright, cool. So while that's boiling, we can probably show you all the ingredients that we have prepped. Oh, actually, you know what? While that's boiling, you can blend the coconut. So what I did, just quickly, I went ahead and prepped a lot of the ingredients. So we have coconuts, of course. We're using no coconut powder milk here today. We're using the real thing. Have all the other ingredients prepped out. When it's time to go through it, I'll uncover them and show you all. But now we're gonna blend the coconut with some hot water to add to our corn soup. I prefer the real deal dried coconut. This morning I actually went to the market, got the coconuts, cracked them, shelled them myself, cut them up, wash them, and have them here. So we're gonna blend them in our Ninja mixer. You may need to go over there first. So yeah.
So you have to pressure cook it?
Pressure cook what? The pigtail? No, we don't have to pressure cook this. Reason being, this is cooking here first to be safe. After 25 minutes I'll check it and then decide if I want to boil a second time before I add it to the corn soup, to the pot of corn soup. Now in the pot of corn soup, it's going to cook for a minimum of at least 1 hour from start to finish. So you're looking at absolute minimum are hour and 25 minutes of cooking. Now, unless you get the oldest pigtail in the world, there's no need to brush it.
Trisha, say hi.
Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Trisha.
The pigtail starting to smell of the kitchen. How much do we all use this Ninja? I love this Ninja blender. I love it.
Why hot water? I'm guessing hot water.
So one thing to always remember is when cooking, anytime you add room temperature water or cold water to a hot pot, it stops the cooking process. It will bring down the temperature of the entire pot, which will then have to pause the cooking, bring back up the temperature, and then start out to cook again. So you always wanna, any liquid, anything, try your best at minimum room, warm or hot. So for the coconut milk, it just makes a lot of sense because I am going to strain this directly into the corn soup, so I could blend this with hot water. Alright, so let me see if I could do this in one. To be safe, we'll do it in two. Okay, so the one pigtail boil up now.
What's your favorite music?
Music? I don't even have a favorite song, to be honest. I really can't say.
I would say Afrobeat.
Yeah, so one thing I'm doing here, this started off on high heat, but because it's boiling, it started to boil, I dropped the heat because this will boil over. So you always want to monitor that, and when you take up your whole stove and you have when you finish, you have more cleaning to do. So just always monitor the boil, and you don't need this to really boil too rigorously. So yeah, this.
How many coconuts?
For this recipe, it was, I believe it's 1.5. Now the recipe that is in the comments is half of the recipe I'm making here tonight, because I doubled the recipe tonight because we have family and friends coming over to enjoy this corn soup with us. So with hot water, guys, you always want to be careful. I don't know if they noticed it. Did you catch it on camera? With some of the water coming out? Yeah, so I had it on extract, so I'm going to switch it.
Do you add the corn in the beginning or when the soup finish?
So closer to the end, but today I'm actually going to be doing something a little different. When we get to that part, I'll show you all, but the whole corn, if that is what the person is referring to, I add that closer to the end because I like to use Canadian sweet corn, which is very tender, does not take long to cook, so we can add that closer to the end because we don't want to pulverize it. Let me just get the rest of the coconuts.
Do you need to pre-cook the split peas?
Pre-cook? You can, but the way I do it is makes life a lot easier, where I start the pot with the split peas and the pigtails and a few other seasonings and flavorings. And then pulverize everything together. Now, it's up to you. Some people just like the peas to burst and still see the peas. I like to use the pulser and turn it into a thick paste so that it can be much more evenly incorporated within your soup. Alright, so we're going again.
Danielle says she thinks that the hot water extract the milk better too.
True. It would. There's definitely an argument for that.
Would the brand or the blend?
The brand of the blender is the Ninja. Now most of the equipment, utensils, knives that you see us using on Foodie Nation is available on our Amazon store. Where would the link be, Chris? Link in our bio, you'll get everything. You'll see the Ninja, you'll see our knives, and a few other things. So yeah, now we're gonna, right, so the timer, so let's show them the pigtail. Right, so now, so that's our timer. We're gonna strain and taste. So what I'll do, I'll strain it in the sink and then I'll put a pot rest on the counter and we could show and so. So if you want, Chris, you could set it. Now you all tell me something, you know, as I'm doing this here. I like to clean as I go. What about y'all? Do y'all like to leave a hot mess? I can't do that. My mother is the same way. She likes to clean as she go, and I want to believe I learn that from her. I can't see, so like how we finish with the blender, I have to pack away this blender immediately.
Mention not all blenders could take hot water or boiling water.
Oh yes, very true. And with hot water, you gotta be very careful if that water comes through the cover with the pressure of the heat. Be very careful.
Is it a commercial blender?
Yes. This will be a commercial grade blender. It's a little on the pricey side, but you get what you're paying for. This is not a dolly house blender. Ooh, one more thing. When cooking, so you see I'm filling up this kettle again. It's always good to have hot water ready. So anytime you need water for anything, you have hot water ready. Right, so I'm gonna strain the pigtail. And remember, whenever you're straining hot liquid, turn your pipe on cold so that you don't damage your plumbing. Clean as you go, people. Did anybody comment on what clean as they go? What did they say?
Say this, do it as well.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright, so let me show them. You just shift this first. Bring this to me here, guys. Right. So let's see. See if I can get a fork. Check this out. Ready? Yeah? Alright, so remember, this, I would say, I would want this to be about 40% done. Yeah? Because it's going to spend about an hour on the stove again. So, alright. So the knife went through relatively easy. Fork went through. Still not as tender as it should be when finished. But by the time you spend an hour in there with the split peas and all the other friends, it should be good to go. So I am, and look, the smoked bones, the smoked pigtail, sorry, is even more tender. So I am not going to boil this a second time. He is going straight into the pot with some of his friends. Alright, so we could go back to that side. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is the fire is on high and I am going to cook my split peas, break down my split peas with the pigtail and smoke bones and a few of their friends in the pot simultaneously. Why am I doing that? For a couple of reasons. One, it's easier. It's less steps. Two, the split peas and the other ingredients will have time to absorb the pigtail flavor, the smoke bone flavor. Everything will be able to marry and come together. Yeah, and then once my split peas is tender, that's my sign to take out the smoke bones and pigtails so that I could pulse everything. Why am I pulsing everything? Just for a much more creamier corn soup consistency rather than a watery consistency like fish broth. Again, that's just my personal preference. You don't have to do that. You could leave this part out. You don't need, sorry, you could not pulse it, but that's what I'm gonna do. So we're going in with our pigtail. So another tip, something that I love to do is to start with a hot pot. I don't really like to add ingredients to a cold pot. So that's why it sounded like that just now because the pot was hot. And that's a sign that my pot hot already too. Alright, so go in with some more water. And our split peas. So I washed the split peas. That's why you'll find it sticking together a little bit, but that's alright. Once we get it in, we'll give the pot a good mix. Get everything evenly incorporated. Check out my spoon. This is a Chinese spatula, a wok spatula. I just find you get a lot more leverage with it when compared to a traditional spoon. Whenever I'm making large quantities of food, I prefer to use this. So I'm just using the spatula and the pigtails to help break up the split peas. Right, so someone asks,
what brand is Adana?
Adana. Right, so Adana, this is a Frigidaire. You want to show them it quick? I mean, we could probably just show them all the appliances quick. So these are actually brand new appliances. We got all of this for Christmas. So don't mind my foot in reflection, but this is a Frigidaire oven, and it's an air fryer. Brand new Frigidaire microwave with range hood and air fryer and double door Frigidaire fridge and freezer. All brand new appliances that we got for Christmas.
Daniel asks if it's smoked pigtail or the fresh one, because in Florida we only get fresh ones smoked.
One more time, sorry.
Daniel asks, is that smoked pigtail or fresh one?
Right, so it's a combination. So it's regular salted pigtails and smoked pigtails. Normally, we would do smoked pork bones with the pigtails. So just a preference in this house. But when I went to purchase, I actually saw the smoked pigtails as well. So I was like, why not? Let me just try it. All right, so we added in some more ingredients. So to the pot, we have a few things in here. You seen it well? Yeah, so to the pot we're going in with some pumpkin crushed garlic. I didn't cut it up. I like to crush it because that helps to release the natural oils in the garlic. And again, I am going to pulse everything, so I really don't need to cut up anything too fine. Onion, fine thyme, celery, Chadon Beni, chive. I think that's it. Yeah, and well, 2 whole peppers that I'll put in this. So I'm just using this bowl to prevent any spillage, any splatter. Alright, so I'm gonna give this another good mix. And again, remember, as I said, people, this recipe is double what we shared with you all in the comments. So if you're finding it looking like a lot, it's because it is a lot. It's actually too much for this pot, but I'll show you all what I'm gonna do a little later. So what I want to do is just so what I'm gonna do is just add enough water to cover. Right. Let's give it a little spoon up. Alright, so last thing to add are my 2 whole peppers. This is just for flavor and not burst any pepper. And what I'm going to do now is cover, bring this to a boil. As soon as it's boiling, drop it onto a simmer and allow my split peas and other ingredients to break down and cook roughly 25-30 minutes max. Then from there, we'll take it to the next step. So we cover. So I'm just covering it just to help it boil faster. So I'm gonna wash somewhere so I could probably answer some questions on. Two ingredients I need to talk about as well. Let me just add this water and then actually no, I don't need to add this water. We need to add the coconut milk. So but before we add the coconut milk, I have 2 ingredients I need to talk about. You all notice I didn't add any pimentos because I want to use the opportunity to highlight our local product, Chalo Farm pimento flakes. These are dehydrated flakes because you know we have the luxury here in Trinidad and Tobago of having access to fresh pimentos, but persons all over the world do not have that luxury. So Chalo Farm, they dehydrate pimentos and currently they ship to US and Canada. We will include the link if you guys want to purchase in the comments. We are a huge fan of Chalo Farms, good friends of ours. So I just said again, they are not paying us to do this. We do get a commission from every sale, but that's about it. You know, we are all about supporting local and supporting excellent products, and this is an excellent product. So I did not buy any fresh pimento because I wanted to use this. So I'm just adding any pimento flakes. Tighten this for Christine. And one more product I want to talk about as well.
Repeat the
right. So, okay, well, let me just add this and then I'll go on the counter and talk about 2 of them again. This is dehydrated Chadon Beni. Sorry, freeze-dried Chadon Beni. So I'm just gonna add this as well. I did add some fresh ones, but I wanted to use the opportunity to use it, show persons how to use it, and talk about it because they are 2 excellent local products. Right, and then let me strain the coconut milk. So as I said, I'm straining this directly into the pot. You want to let the coconut cook. You know, you don't want to add it too late. So you need to add it just at the right time to allow the coconut milk enough time to cook and break down and once again marry with all the other ingredients. We just dispose this. chicken. Yeah, so whenever we at Foodie Nation get the opportunity to highlight some of these local artisans, we take full opportunity. Alright, so I'm just gonna give this a little mix. Add back our 2 whole peppers, cover, bring to a boil, and then reduce it to a simmer. So Chris, I could go back up, bro? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Just clean up. Yeah, so everybody was saying they clean up too. Mommy, I was showing everybody, Mommy, I was telling everybody how I like to clean as I go now. And I was asking them what they used to do. And they say, yeah, they do the same thing too. So let me put it a little bit. See it here, put it there. While I wash it, I can talk about it. Yeah, so as I was saying, these are 2 excellent local products that make persons outside the Caribbean who may not have access to fresh Chadon Beni and fresh pimento. You can extremely loud up. Yeah, let me just wash this quick and काफी दफी है something else you should always do too is whenever you finish with your knives and you wash them, wipe them, because water dulls knives. So always wipe them dry after.
I want to know what you do with the coconut. What you do with the coconut?
The chickens. Yeah, so I'm not sure how much of y'all follow me on Joshua and TT, but what we do with all our food scraps is we keep it for our chickens. And whatever the chickens do not eat, the worms will eat. So no food waste in this house. Alright. So let's talk about two products. Two locally made products that when you talk about Chadon Beni and pimento, that's a must. Two of the first ingredients in most of Trinbagonian cooking. But unfortunately, persons outside of Trinidad who want to try Trinidadian food do not have access to fresh Chadon Beni or culantro or fresh pimento peppers. So Chadon Farm, they dehydrate pimentos, and golden roots they freeze dry. I believe it's either freeze dry or dehydrated, you'll forgive me. But anyways, they have this pre-packaged with let me tell you, oh god, the expiry, let me see this. 2025. So I got this mid last year, so this 18 months. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, and not seeing the expiration date on golden roots, but excellent products, currently only available locally and on Carib Shopper. So we'll include the links in the comments for you guys to check it out. Yeah? Sorry?
Where Carib Shopper? Where is he ever to?
US and Canada. We're gonna check this we're gonna just check this first. Now starting to come in. So now starting to boil up. What I'll do too, because this is a brand new stove, we're still kind of figuring it out. So what I'll do, because it's boiling up in that corner, I'm gonna use the opportunity to shift the pot a little bit to see if I could get much more even cooking. Alright, so we're just gonna cover him and check back in about 2 minutes. Apologies for the music if it's bothering you all, but I really can't do anything about that with the neighbors and outside. Any questions,
Daniel said, I think Foodie Nation should have a shop at the airport or partner with a shop for them to get these products when leaving.
That's actually a very good idea, and something that I'm not sure when it was, but the last time I was in the airport, I was actually thinking about that, because the airport just has your typical trinkets. And I was like, why they don't have these things that people will actually want and use? You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with magnets and flags and t-shirts, but I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are interested in pimento flakes and, you know, dehydrated Chadon Beni, so that's actually a real good point. I'll look into that.
When you're making cheese puffs.
Puffs? I don't know, funny word. So, why I'm laughing is because we're actually gonna film recipe videos next week from Monday to Thursday, and puffs is on the list where we're gonna be making cheese, chicken and tuna, and that will be released in the first quarter of 2024. Right, so you see how it's starting to bubble up? I'll use the opportunity now. I'll shift the pot a little more to my left. Let me shift him because I still want him to cook as evenly as possible. I will reduce the heat to medium, cover him, and check back again in 2 minutes. While I'm checking back again, I'm just checking back for even cooking. Once I see it cooking evenly, I'll reduce it to a simmer and put a thyme on it. In the meantime, I could bring in the rest of the ingredients over here. So let me open my pot for you so y'all could see him going. Questions?
Well, I have a question from Instagram. They want to know if you are now the permanent face of Foodie.
So going forward, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me and Rhett, who are the founders of Foodie Nation, along with our moms who have been our biggest support in day one. And the main reason for that is because we're a very family-oriented platform, family-friendly platform, and we wanted to make that shift to emphasize that fact, as well as continue to personalize the brand and introduce you all to the people behind the brand. So you're definitely going to be seeing more of us, but that's not to say you're not going to be seeing anybody else, because as you see, we continue to do features where we go and visit persons and highlight people, and you will see different cooks, different personalities from time to time, but mainly, yes, you're gonna be seeing mainly us.
Welcome to Kelsey.
Nothing, Kaz good. Kaz good. I mean, like anything else, nothing lasts forever, and Kaz is doing her own thing now. We still consider her part of the Foodie Nation family, but going forward, it'll be mainly going to be seeing Rats and I.
Our next question was, can young up-and-coming chefs apply to be a host on Foodie Nation?
You could definitely reach out, and we could probably look at collaborating and kind of co-hosting and doing something together, for sure. Let me check the pot. Okay, cool. So I would consider this boiling. So what I'm gonna do now is dropping it down to low, and I'm gonna set a timer. So it's been here for about 10 to 15 minutes already. So I'm gonna set the timer for 15 minutes and let it simmer on low. Let me just turn it to feel how the bottom is feeling, because I don't want it to burn. Okay, nothing is sticking yet, so I just have to be mindful of that. Lovely. Right, so we're just gonna let him simmer.
Welcome to Uncle Glide.
Nothing. Uncle Clyde did some of them. Uncle Clyde good. For Christmas, what did we do? We did a special where we sat with him and Mr. Creamy. It was 4 of us, Rhett, myself, Mr. Creamy, Uncle Clyde, and we used the opportunity to let Uncle Clyde tell his story. You know, we get a lot of questions about Uncle Clyde. Uncle Clyde Uncle Clyde ain't going nowhere. And he ain't going nowhere. That's one person ain't going nowhere.
Why not using a ring stove?
Prefer the kitchen. I mean, this is the Foodie Nation kitchen. This is the space persons have become accustomed of. You know, there's our comfortable space to work.
Is it wise to use green seasoning in the soup? Does it change the color or just put a little bit?
It will definitely have an effect on the color, especially with my own. You'll see, and the reason for that is because I am pulsing it, so it will definitely have an effect. What I did, and I was waiting to show you all, but I guess I could talk about it now. What I did is because I am going to be pulsing my split peas along with all the aromatics in the pot, I only added half of my celery, Chadon Beni, and Chive, and I did not add any sweet pepper. I left all those things for the end. Part of the reason is to take full advantage of the aroma of the fresh ingredients, as well as not turn the color of the corn soup completely green or like a vomit color. Chris, let's just adjust this one now because I want to kind of let them see over the pot too. Could we raise it? Alright, so let me see if I can just bring it. Okay. Watch this and tell me. No, I want to leave this here because it's easier for me to reach it. That's our kettle. Y'all, if y'all have any corn soup questions, any more Foodie Nation questions, feel free to answer. We love the questions. I know a lot of y'all did send in questions, and we went through some of the past videos to compile some of the questions, but feel free, if y'all only live now, feel free to ask. That's why we're here to help. So I'm just turning the pot just to make sure nothing is sticking. I'm not feeling anything at the bottom, so that's a good sign.
Turmeric?
No, to this, no, I don't add turmeric. No, that will help if your corn soup looking a little too green. But I've never had that.
Bring me over.
Sorry?
When will outdoor cooking come back?
Soon, actually. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Where y'all want us to cook? Y'all send in some suggestions, places, things like that. Send in, sure.
What are some tips for cooking curry?
Tips to cooking curry. The number one tip for me is to hydrate and allow your curry powder to fully cook. A lot of people like to rush the curry patching process, the curry cooking process, and always remember it's a dehydrated product, so you need to, 1, allow it to fully hydrate, and 2, allow it to fully cook. And then I find like when you do that, you tend to use less curry powder.
Andrew wants a bowl. Oh, that's it, I have to.
It's boiling very nice and thick already, yeah? Pretty consistency. Again, the peppers aren't burst. I didn't burst them. Is just want to. We have kids eating, so we just want to borrow some of the flavor from the pepper. We don't want the heat. Pepper could keep the heat up.
Do you have a cooking class or just Foodie Nation?
For now, just Foodie Nation, but y'all let us know because we've gotten 1 or 2 requests about that. So that's something we're thinking about. So if y'all think, let us know. Do y'all think Foodie Nation should start cooking classes? Right, so we're just waiting for our split peas to break down and become tender before we add our our kernel corn and cream style corn. After that, we're gonna remove the pigtails and the hot pepper, pulse everything to a nice thick consistency, and then add in the rest of our ingredients and go from there. But it's coming together really nicely. Look at it. Smells good. How you find it smelling, Chris? Smelling real good already. And we probably halfway through. Wow.
You should do classes, especially for people overseas.
Especially for people who?
Overseas.
Yeah. Well, we will framing the recipe tutorials to be a lot more in depth going forward. So you all could continue to send in your feedback on how you all find the recipe tutorials are going. If you all think it should be more in depth, we're going to be including tips, fun facts in the written recipe to help you all. So you all can let us know if you all think those tutorial videos should be much more detailed, longer, etc., etc., and we will be happy to oblige, because only with your feedback that's how we'll know how to continue going forward. Sorry? You want water?
Ice.
Yeah. No, I was
Somebody wants to know if that's pumpkin or corn.
pumpkin. No corn has been added as yet. You want to show them the corn in the bowl? Yeah, no corn has been added as yet. This is kernel corn and cream style corn. That as soon as the split peas is tender, we're going to take all the pigtails and the hot pepper, add this, pulse everything down to a thick paste, to a thick consistency, and then we're going to go in with our whole corn, carrots, sweet pepper, etc. So I'm always checking the bottom of the pot because I don't want it to start to stick. It really shouldn't, but I know when I pulse this is when I will really have to be mindful, because it's going to be very thick. So our timer is saying 4 minutes. Continue to mix. The coconut milk helps to thicken it a lot as well. Wow, smells so good. So yeah, it's just from here. Once we pulse, it's just corn, carrot, sweet pepper, Chadon Beni, chive, celery, and our dumpling. Lovely. Thank you so much, Carell Freeman. Classes for sure. Okay, cool. So we definitely have to work that out. MKL Electrics, what's that called? Well, this is corn soup. We're making corn soup tonight. That's good.
Why put split peas?
Personal preference. Personal preferences.
Does it add flavor?
Yeah, it does. Adds flavor, it adds color. But you don't have to.
No potatoes?
No. No potato. No potato in this one.
That normal in corn soup or as a preference then?
Potato? For me, it would not be normal. But I mean, to each their own. I'm sure they have somebody out there playing potato in corn soup. Alright, so our timer is telling us 1 minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the timer. Let me remove these two bad boys, because definitely don't wanna accidentally burst that. And I'm gonna taste the split peas. Well, sorry, not taste, but check the consistency. Oh yeah, split peas is ready to go. So split peas is ready to go. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna remove the pigtails. Now this is the one, it's not difficult, but yeah, take your time and do this. I mean, I one time I actually did pulse it with the pigtail in, but I will strongly advise you take it out. Yeah, so you just have to take your time, get it out. If you get some of the like pieces of pumpkin, onion, and thyme out that I'm doing here, I mean, that's okay. Everything going back in the pot. I'm just taking out the Oh no, this pot is too small, mommy. This pot is too small. What I'm doing here, I'm just taking out the pigtail to pulse everything, and then I'm gonna take out half because this pot is too small. Because earlier when I brought up the other pot can't fit. Yeah, so something. The new stove either too high, or the microwave too tall now. Yeah, something changed. Nah, well, I mean, we're in the kitchen, so we had to use the kitchen. Apologies for the music, y'all. And smoked pigtail too, you know. Regular pigtail and smoked pigtail, yeah. I was looking for regular like pork smoke bones, and I see smoked pigtail, so I said I'm gonna try it. touching? Or the spoon? No, I'm not touching. Sorry? Yeah, that's a little bit of the coconut. Only my mother don't like when I leave this thing dirty. Alright, I think, oh no, seeing two more here. It's smelling good and we ain't even finished yet. Well, it's me and I bait today, boy. I decided to bait today. Alright, I think we got all. Alright. So, let's add the corn. Just pull this. See how much fun they like. We need a little more hyper. Yeah, boy. Well, you see, I'm here by myself, boy. Brett abandoned me. More hype. Okay, we boil in the pigtail. Well, the live is a Foodie Nation thing.
What bigger in
Celery, Chadon Beni, thyme. Alright, time to pulse now. Let's see if I can twist all this up. I can blow this good. Brand new thing. I don't know what's going on here now. I don't know, but it's the first time I'm using it. How many you can hammer the other one? It's only starting and stopping. Yeah. You can plug this up. Alright, so the thing is given to us. So now we try and test it. Try it and trust it. Once it's in break, it's good. I'll leave it now because I need to pour out this. Yeah. The bottom part is a pop guard. You can take it off the rubber part. No, let's say you can use it with it. Yeah, you can take. What about your boss? When you come in, you can give him, you can take one film. Oh, quite easy. Mommy, remember we live, right? Freeze it. Right, here we get it. Look at how nice and thick. Look at it. It's nice, it's real nice. Right, so I think we're good here. Right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take out half and then bring it back. Yeah, that's it. Add back our pigtails. Everything else?
But it still has really fun.
State cup. Alright, and now we're going in with our aromatic celery chive, Chadon Beni, sweet pepper, carrots. water to cover everything. Right, so we're just going to mix this up now and go over to our dumpling. Mommy, watch them.
I can't believe the size of this pot. It's too much consider. Should we just bring up the cotton? Yes.
Yeah.
Keep adding sauce.
This is strong.
Alright, so we go by the dumpling.
You put back on the pot here.
And Cornmeal. Oh yeah.
You're here eating cornmeal?
Washing down these clothes.
Look at this really nice. The dumpling, right? So now what we're doing, we're kneading the dumpling for the corn soup. So just taking a little piece and let me show you. Just roll it out into a log and just cutting it into these bite-sized pieces. And that's it. We're just adding it to the pot. So guys, unfortunately the music is a little too loud. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna stop the live and we'll just continue cooking on our stories, okay? And we'll be sure to post the finished product and share that with you. So we're gonna cut it now and then just shift over to the stories. Pretty good.
One.